good kid who loves you.
Woo! Tommy!
Don't let me down, Bubby. I love you.
London is calling.
It's calling everybody to go see it.
Well, it's a fun movie.
Thank you.
You must like playing in this space because I loved Bandits.
Oh,
and it's
amazing.
Kind of
Thank you.
It's almost kind of a continuation of that story. In some ways, it's like a buddy comedy, but the match is different because here you've got this old seasoned gangster and this young boy.
What are you doing in LA?
I can't go back to London because I killed Freddie Darby's wife's cousin. Who's Freddie Darby? He's my old boss back in London. I haven't seen my son for over a year.
Maybe I can get you safe passage back to London.
Anything you need, you name it.
This is my son, Julian.
Hello?
He's kind of like Rain Man, but really sucks at math. He needs to become a man, and that's exactly why he's coming on the next date with you.
I grew up watching a lot of popcorn movies and the buddy cop genre. That was stuff that really, influenced and inspired me to get into filmmaking. And so I'd always wanted to make a movie like this that was just pure popcorn escapism. And so certainly, working with Josh again, there's similarities to Bandit, but I think this kind of expands on that. We had a bigger sandbox to play in. We had more time, more money. And so I think we really just sort of wanted to punctuate that.
Target, Alistair McRae. Seems that Alistair had some sort of breakdown. His brother, Seamus. I want him dead too.
Are you writing down the names of the people we're about to murder?
I was reading that you got pitched the script, but then you also co-wrote it.
Josh and I were on our last day filming Bandit, funny enough, and my agent sent me this script. And I was exhausted. I was jet lagged. It took me like 3 weeks to get through, which is generally a terrible sign if it takes 3 weeks to read a script. Usually if I like something, I read it in one sitting, I'm done. But I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with the themes. It was exactly what I was looking for. And so while we were, editing Bandit and putting the finishing touches on Bandit, I was sort of starting to scribble a little bit in terms of what I wanted to see in this movie. And so eventually I ended up doing my own draft of it and sort of expanding on what, Levin and Quinn had already done so beautifully and eloquently, but just sort of, adding a little bit more of my irreverent brand of humor and some more character moments that I was looking for, especially the heart. So that was sort of, that was part of that process, yeah.
Why'd you leave England?
I killed some people.
I'm looking for Tommy. 6 foot, oddly perfect bone structure.
Why are you back here?
Killing different people. Have you ever been involved in any real-life violence? He's gonna get me killed.
I didn't ask for your opinion.
Do you take intention to every film that you make? And if so, what is your intention? Is it to entertain, to inform, to make the best film possible? What intention do you have with these films?
With this movie specifically, in looking at the themes, mostly of fathers and sons, I think that my intent with this film was to speak on that a bit, but also speak on certain things that we see, whether you want to call it toxic masculinity or certain things that happen in adulthood with certain men. There's this form of denial that comes with aging and getting older. And while I'm still in my 30s and I find that, a lot of people call me relatively young, there's a certain mindset that I have kind of going towards 40 than I did when I was 22 making my first movie. And so I think that this film did embody all of the messages that I was trying to convey. And I think a big part of that is family. I lost my father right before I got into making this movie. And so I think that heavily impacted me. And the coincidence being that when I got the script, the character's name was Tommy and my dad's name was Tommy. And it's funny because a lot of people see that I'm credited as a writer and think that I did that on purpose, but that's actually how the script came to me. So it sort of felt like a sign.
Do you think that in some ways your father's with you because he was so influential in terms of your upbringing, taking you to the movies and really introducing you to that language of cinema? Do you find that he's with you on set?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to think so. I mean, my dad was my biggest fan. He knew things about me before I did. He had Google alerts for me. He knew what was going on before I did sometimes. But certainly the success that I will say that the success that came with Bandit, I largely attribute to him kind of looking out for me. It was sort of like his parting gift to have that film work the way that it did and succeed the way that it did, but also put me on the course that I'm on now as a filmmaker with, because I think every movie has something to say or should have something to say rather than just making a movie for the sake of making a movie. And that was certainly different in the process of this one compared to films of the past.
We're looking for Seamus. 3, 2, 1.
I'm Julian.
What constitutes success for you ultimately?
There's always projects that pop up at a certain level. I think the unicorn for a lot of us is to get that studio movie, the big sort of summer studio movie. And, I've had various projects in development at certain levels, the levels that I, obviously want to be working up towards. And so I'm very happy with where I am in my career at the moment because I know that I'm still growing and building. And, this is sort of, because I was so young when I started out, I kind of looked at that as the first chapter. I had these 2 movies and this Netflix movie. And then I kind of took a little bit of a break because I didn't want to get pigeonholed as a director. Oh, you're Canadian. Oh, you can do indie movies that look bigger. I was getting offered a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do. And I realized I was getting offered them because the formula that I was sort of working with was paying off. And so a lot of people wanted me for that. And that's not what I wanted. So I took this break and I went and I did this Comic-Con thing that ended up going viral and sort of actually changed the course of my career. Uncharted, the thing that I'm referencing, ended up being such a global hit online that I had so many people come to me and tell me what it meant to them and that it moved them. Yeah, that's external gratification, but it was the way that I felt that I had affected other people. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing this for. We're trying to reach people in different ways and say something. And so I look at my body of work, I look at what I'm focused on now, and I think, it's easy to say success is how many movies have you made? How much money have you made? At the end of the day, I think it's, have you stayed true to yourself, the integrity of your craft? And in this case, did I stick to my guns in the films that I've made and push for the things that I believed in? And 10 times out of 10, I will tell you yes, because there were parts of this movie specifically that I had to fight to keep that. I've now, enough time's passed and enough people have come back to see it. And I know that I was right about that. Doesn't mean I'm always right, but I do stick to my guns and I believe heavily on my instinct and I rely on my instinct because at the end of the day, I'm an audience member. I go to the movies. That's what I do. So I think it's this sense of internal gratification.
Well, most importantly, keep following that love of cinema. Allan Ungar, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Pleasure.
best of luck with London Calling.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to turn on some Clash right now.
You go.
As I close out this interview.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, listen, continued success, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. Catch you on the next one.
That was awesome.
He's a good kid. Who loves you.
Woo! Tommy!
Don't let me down, Bubby. I love you.